excellent day for an exorcism.
Welcome to Just Another Horror Podcast.
I'm John. Fuck capitalism!
I'm Lindsay, trying to write horror novels because I was a weird kid.
The whole world is your urinal.
Fuck the prime time, bitch!
Alright. Hey, everybody! Welcome to Just Another Horror Podcast.
Welcome.
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 Alright, how did I tell them I had to do this before? I am John.
I'm Lindsay.
I'm M.
No,
Oh
you
wait,
guys-
do we
you
have
guys
to
get it
look over
wrong.
there? Why is there a lighter?
Because it holds it in place.
So
We're professionals around here.
I mean, that's how they do it. Haven't you seen? Lighters are always a part of the...
Whatever works. Yes, this is I would say this is my first official pick. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And it is called
False Positive.
Mm-hmm. Directed
Starring
by John Lee. Anyway.
His middle name's Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. So that's you.
What's the song that you like? What's the
John Lee's Super Taster.
I had the chance to meet a real live super taster named John Lee.
But
I do
they
not
might
know
be
what
giants.
that is.
They Might Be Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Highly recommend.
Alright, Em,
Anyway.
why'd you pick this movie?
Okay, I basically picked it because I'm a huge fan of Alana Glazer's. She's one of the stars of Broad City.
I absolutely love Broad City.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize her real name because I know her as like Alana Wexler, you know?
Oh, right. Yes, that's true. She produced, also, I think, co-wrote the screenplay.
Yeah.
And stars in the movie. So I was really interested. I've never seen her in any other situation except for, like, a very comedic role.
Right, yeah.
So
it was
I'm
interesting to see her in something more serious. And I think she did a good job.
Yeah, I think she did.
I mean, she was totally different than her character in Broad City, that's for sure.
Yeah,
like,
even, like, her, like, she usually has, like, the crazy curly
right,
hair and
yeah.
everything.
She had, like, long waves. And...
like, long hair, very, kind of
Subdued.
subdued personality.
yeah. Like, I
It was
almost
very
wouldn't have even known it was her.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
I was just there for Pierce Brosnan.
He did a great job.
Baby.
He was creepy.
I think he was overly creepy, though. And
I feel like he was meant to be, though.
That's how I like my Pierce Brosnan.
You said something about how, you must like Pierce Brosnan or something like that. I have not liked Pierce Brosnan since he was in Remington Steele, which was a
Oh, damn,
Never
that's a long
saw
time ago.
show in the 80s.
Mhm.
Loved him in that. I was not a fan of Bond stuff.
I didn't like it when Robin Williams was like giving him CPR and Mrs. Doubtfire.
Didn't even remember he was in that.
Yeah.
I liked Mrs. Doubtfire back in the day, but I didn't remember him being in that either.
That's
And
a
I've
horror
never
movie
seen
we
a
should
Bond
watch
movie.
sometime. Mrs. Doubtfire.
I've never seen one Bond movie.
Fucking scary ass movie.
No, he was only in like 2, I think.
3.
Excuse me.
Okay, so this movie, woman who wants to get pregnant with her husband, it rings of Rosemary's Baby very much.
Yeah, as I was watching it, I was definitely getting Rosemary's Baby vibes, and I thought it was going to be something like that, and it ends up being totally different from Rosemary's Baby.
I never saw Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, really? That's actually one of my favorite horror films. I really like it.
How
Robin
scary is
Polanski one.
Wait,
It's-
Robin Polanski.
Yeah.
In Rosemary's Baby, there's a scene where she is hallucinating having sex with the devil. And then she wakes up and they're like, oh, that was a weird dream. And in this movie, he hears them talking about something. And, oh, she's asleep. She won't know any of this. And when she wakes up, she's like, oh, this happened. And they're like, you had a weird dream. So
Right.
that reminded me of Rosemary's Baby.
Mm-hmm. And how she can tell that, like, she can't trust anybody.
Yeah, everyone's against her. She's paranoid of everyone.
Now, I watched it again last night.
Mhm.
She wasn't actually questioning anything until that speech that he gave.
Yeah, then he was
Did you
weirded
notice
out.
that?
Well, I noticed, like, when they did the sonogram, like, the girl baby kind of, like, turned and looked at her, like, which was a
Really?
weird thing. Yeah. And she
I
could
didn't
tell there
see
was
that.
something weird.
I thought it
then.
was going to be a demon because of that.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
And then she had that dream where she was, like, with her daughter, and her daughter looking at her, and she was like decaying, kind of, and she knew there was something that had been done. It's like
she had
just her
there was
intuition.
something going on.
Yeah.
And then I remember, like, when I watched it the second time, and I didn't catch it the first time, she had written, her husband was, like, honoring John.
Yeah.
Hildy, what was his last name?
Hindle.
Okay. And she had written her husband's speech. She was like, oh, I'll just write the speech for you, whatever. So her husband gives a speech, and then he gets up and gives a speech. And it zeroes in on her face as she's listening to it.
Concern.
She's smiling. Mm-hmm. She's smiling the whole time he's talking. You know what I mean? Like, kind of how she was at the doctor's office, just kind of like all dreamy. Like, oh, everybody's doing this for me. It's great and everything. And then as his speech goes on, she starts to, like, her face just starts to drop.
Right.
And that, I feel like, is kind of like the turning point.
Did you pinpoint anything he said that made her...
I thought about, going back like 10, 20 seconds, and
That's what you always do!
And I did it.
What happened?
I did. In my mind, I thought, wait, what exactly did he say? I remember him saying, now I am a part of all of your families. I remember him saying that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then... I can't remember what else, but I thought about going back. Maybe I'll look at it again.
I mean, that sounds like it right there. When he said that, that's
right.
Based on what happens, that's definitely... All right, we're a little ahead of ourselves here.
Sorry. The
okay.
movie starts out with her peeing on a pregnancy test.
Yep. So they're trying to make a baby. They can't do it. They go to this Dr. Hindle guy that Adrian has worked with or graduated with? Or
he was John was a professor of Adrian's.
Okay. So they know each other, and they get in where this place where everybody's always trying to get in. They just get right in. And the first thing I said when they went in there, and I regretted it about 20 minutes later, was, man, I wish every place was like this. This place rules.
Yeah, not once you get to see what it's really like.
As a woman, walking into a place like that,
creepy.
100% Stepford Wives.
Yes,
vibes.
exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Like all
with
the
the
nurses.
Yeah.
And
that metal thing.
Yeah, what is that called?
I don't know. I was like, that looks really uncomfortable.
What is that?
All of it did, and he's over there like.
The way they are rubbing
he was like
lube
enjoying
on
it.
on all of these instruments.
Oh, I was loving it. Loving watching him do that. You were not. You were uncomfortable.
It was uncomfortable.
It was creepy.
It was creepy. It was creepy from the minute they got to the doctor's office, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I believe I said Pierce Brosnan can give me a pap smear any day.
Me, not so much. Like I said, Remington Steele hasn't been the same.
So they find out that this process has given her triplets instead of just a baby. That's not really why they went, but there's 2 males and a female.
And doesn't that happen a lot of the time with artificial insemination? Like they get multiples.
Because they're making it as primed as it can be. So.
Right. So then they need to.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, prime that ovary.
Before she is impregnated, they show her husband has to jerk off, and it's to a video.
Some very violent people.
A woman being slapped and strangled.
Yeah.
First time, I'm like,
there's something wrong with this guy.
No good.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a violent pornography, choking chicks and sodomy.
No, there's a better one. What's a better one? Whips and chains excite me. Rihanna,
yeah.
Okay, didn't know that one, but I will.
Come on, you have to know that song. It was big,
he does not listen to pop music.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but chains and whips excite me.
What song
I mean,
is
it's
that
just
from?
called S&M, I think.
Was
right?
it?
I'll find it.
Yeah, get some ladies on here. Woo, ladies.
I mean, they're taking over the show. So,
Thanks.
first 150 episodes, just burgers, burbs, burger.
Have you listened to
Okay, we're bringing the viewers, so.
That's right. Could she not have had all 3 babies?
I mean, you would think, but they thought that it would, like, be a more risky pregnancy that way, and she would be more likely to have a miscarriage, so. I don't know.
Do you think he was telling the truth?
No.
Do you think he just wanted the boys?
Yes.
Oh, that was so messed up.
And you knew when they gave her the choice and he argued about it, you're like, well, she's not going to have the daughter.
Yeah, and she's like, I just want to make the right decision. He's like, I'll make sure that happens, like, because he'll make his decision.
Every time they talk, she'd be like, don't worry.
That's exactly what it was like.
Right?
But she's like, okay.
Yeah.
Until the speech, you're right. She's like, that sounds good to me.
She has been traumatized from trying to have a baby for
Yeah, that's true.
however long. When she first goes in there and it's like this dream world of...
So,
Oh, but I hate how they just like dismiss all the things that she thinks. Like, it doesn't matter what she thinks, and it doesn't matter what she's feeling.
It doesn't matter how it makes you feel.
They're right, and they know best.
like I said, this movie is got to be terrifying to women.
Well,
Absolutely scary.
there's also her whole experience at work.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Which,
Like, she's supposed to be on like their level, but yet they're making her order
lunch
for
all the
them
time,
every
and
single
she
day.
seems fine with it.
Yeah, she
She's
just
like,
accepts it and
They gave her that big account, but then they're kind of
taking
like
it away because now
taking it
she's
away
pregnant.
from
So,
her
oh,
and-
you're
She's
pregnant,
pregnant.
so you
Yeah.
can't do it.
So I wonder, because there didn't really seem to be a point of any of the, except for maybe kind of like her being surrounded by all these men that are kind of
belittling in a way, and like,
yeah, they're just not taking her seriously.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, not really. She's expressing concerns, they're dismissing it. She is worried about this or that, and it's just like, oh no, it's fine. You know what I mean? They're like,
yeah.
So I feel like maybe that led to the awesome ending.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it all built up because she was just letting it all go for
'cause
so
I
long.
can't think of any other reason why they would even include the work stuff in there.
Right, yeah. I feel like every single time she was at work, it showed them making her order lunch for them, you know? Because,
Yeah.
like, you knew, like, okay, that's how it is for her
And
at work.
it was weird when she told the boss she was pregnant. And,
He's
I knew it!
Yeah,
You've
my
been
female
glowing!
intuition. Like, he
Yeah.
has female intuition.
And then, like, then the other two come in, they're like, oh my god, I was just telling my wife how much you were glowing the other day.
yeah,
Like, really?
Like,
No, that doesn't happen.
No.
That just doesn't happen.
Huh.
And then I wonder how much she's hallucinating, because there are definite
know,
hallucinations,
yeah.
but how
And also,
much?
I was wondering, why is she hallucinating? Like, did they inject her with something? Like, she's not even taking the pills that they gave her.
That's
like,
true.
Where are her mental issues coming from? And what all were mental issues and what was real? Like, it was
Right.
hard to know. Like, when she would hear something in their apartment, like, was there somebody in there, or was it just her imagination?
Right.
I didn't know, because, like, if there was somebody in there, who was it, and what were they doing in there? And then her
Right.
husband would just, like, go out into the darkness and be like, oh, yeah, there's nothing there. Like, what, did you just, like, feel around and you couldn't feel anybody?
Right.
Because you didn't turn on a
Turn
light
the light on.
or anything?
Yeah, it is weird, because some of the things she's in the bathtub and, like, she dreams about the blood coming
Yeah, and
and
then
everything.
she's got him, like, holding her underwater. but
before
then-
they give her the medicine, they diagnose her with antenatal depression. So she's starting to feel.
This is towards the end, though. This is towards the
But
end of the pregnancy.
she's seeing some weird stuff beforehand and getting a little paranoid beforehand too. They give her the medication. She doesn't take it. She keeps seeing things that are real and things that are not real.
You think it has to do with the pregnancy?
And they keep calling it mommy brain.
They
or
call it
baby
mommy brain,
God.
but the official
Like,
name is antenatal depression.
But do you think he really... But that's what he used... I thought he kind of used that as an excuse for her being paranoid about
Right, yeah.
him.
And do you think they were making her go crazy, or was it just her? Like,
When they give her that, she goes in because she's bleeding. And she's worried.
Right, because
Yeah.
normally if you're pregnant and you start bleeding, as much as she supposedly was bleeding,
Yeah.
you're having a miscarriage.
So do you think that she was bleeding and they gave her that to help? Or something? Like, what? Why did they give her
They
the
gave
medicine?
her like Xanax, right?
Okay.
They gave her like a anti-anxiety.
and they discouraged her from Googling anything because
Right.
she should only have
No
his
more Google.
opinion, that she
In which-
shouldn't know anything
Right.
else.
Right there, if I'm her, I'd never go back. If anyone ever tells me, don't be
Yeah.
Googling, I'm done.
Uh,
I don't care what it is.
I don't know. Some things were obviously hallucinations, but on the
Right.
other hand, I wonder if she really was going crazy, because I actually forgot about the very last scene until I watched it again last night. I
Yeah,
was
me
like,
too, and I was like, oh,
Are
wow.
you talking about the babies in the
yeah,
window?
we'll get to that
We'll
later,
get there.
probably.
Don't ask us those questions until we're ready.
This is the episode where I officially get pushed off the show.
Hey, but I am very curious to know if there really was somebody in her apartment, or if she was just imagining it.
Did
you
it?
know?
Did it? When he went back into the dark, it was such a weird scene.
It was
When he-
weird. Like, why didn't he turn a light on? Like,
No
why did he
idea.
just...
when he went back there, didn't you hear the beeping of the safe?
You would think.
I thought I heard like beeping and then like a door and that kind of thing.
I don't remember. I mean, that's very possible.
There was something
But-
there was some noise. Yeah.
I thought, but he was doing it. I don't think it was.
You thought he was getting something else. I can't remember. Oh, you thought he built the baby room, and it was going to be a surprise.
I thought he was
But no.
changing the baby room into like a twin boy room instead of a girl room.
Okay, yeah. And then there's more about the safe later.
Right.
I don't know when we want to get into that.
It's
but-
weird how much of this is like plainly revealed to the audience,
Right, yeah.
and yet it's still trying to tell the audience that maybe you're going crazy. Like maybe the stuff isn't happening, but it's like very plainly in plain sight, definitely going on.
Mhm.
I mean, the whole time through the first half of the movie, I'm like trying to figure out exactly what's going on. It's very intriguing, you know? You're like, okay, what's happening here? There's something very sinister going on at this doctor's office.
And,
But
like,
what is it?
I was like trying to guess, like, is he cloning people? Is
Yeah.
he, like, I forget what else I was thinking.
And I was thinking more Rosemary's Baby kind of stuff, which we don't want to like get into because we don't want to spoil it for you if you watch that. But, but it ended up being nothing like that.
No. I mean, it was pretty apparent when they brought up that she was going to have to pick between a male and a female baby. And it went on for a while.
We knew
Whatever she picked was going to be the opposite
Right.
of what happened. It just was.
Yeah, they made a lot of it obvious as it was going on.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have to like wonder, and you didn't even have to wonder like, is the husband on her side or is he like? I mean, you pretty much knew
Right.
But
like
that's
you
why-
can't trust the husband.
That's what I think a better ending to this. This is just my opinion. I think a better ending to this would have been that we were wrong.
Right? Yeah, something that would
And
be
she
more
just
of a
has
shocking ending.
She just has a baby, a girl baby, and they weren't doing anything, and now she's completely nuts because
And a new mother? That's horrible.
I didn't say she might have a new mother after. Yeah, because of how crazy she is.
She
from
would
all
be
that.
a new mother, though. And completely crazy. That sounds absolutely horrible.
Yeah, it'd crush you. It'd crush you inside.
Yeah.
This kind of does a little bit.
Did Pierce, what's his name?
Brosnan.
Did Dr. Hindle, did Adrian, the husband, he knew that they were only keeping the boys and not the girl.
Mhm.
Did he know they were Hindle's kids?
Yes.
See, I wondered that too. Like, what was the point of having him give sperm then? You know, because he was in there watching that violent porn to
Felt like jerking
do
off.
his. Like,
That's basically it. I think he just felt like jerking off.
No,
I mean, why would he do it in the
He was
doctor's
like-
office? You know?
but Hindle was like trying to create better people, better gene pools,
Yeah, he
better
wanted a
with his
whole
own.
bunch
He
of
thought
people with
he
his-
was great, so he was going. But so did Adrian know? Was he like, oh yeah, I want my kids to be his
See,
kids?
like, it seems
Yes.
like it, but yet it seems weird to me. Like, what was the point of having him donate his sperm then? Like, what was that
Oh,
about?
right.
Like,
I
you
see what
know?
you're saying now. Okay.
That's why I'm saying I think he just wanted to go jerk off.
But that seems
No,
weird. Like, why
he
do that in the
All right,
doctor's office?
fine.
and
Nobody's in a doctor's office
Like, I
with
really-
their wife trying to get pregnant and is like, you know what? I need a little time by myself.
Right.
Somebody
yeah.
show me a room where I can, look at some magazines and stuff. Who does that? Nobody
the same
does
kind of guy
that.
who tricks their wife into having babies she doesn't want.
Yeah, but he could just do that anytime. Like, why do
Yeah.
it in the doctor's office? Like,
I
it
think
just...
he thinks those are his kids.
It doesn't address this at all.
I think
No.
he knows that he knows the two boys are being saved and not the girl, but he doesn't. But he still thinks they're his own kids.
Yeah,
I don't
bet.
know. I feel like those two are so close.
They weren't that close though.
They're hugging all the time.
Be-
Every single time they're like, come here.
Because of
big hug."
money. Because of money.
Oh.
Because
all
he's
right.
probably going to get huge money for going to that practice.
Right, yeah.
I feel like we're really not following that.
Yeah, we do this a lot.
Oops.
But I'm sure most of the people listening have already watched this movie, so they can follow along.
Alright.
At some point, what is her name? Lucy?
Yeah, or
Finds-
Lucia.
Mm-hmm.
She finds a midwife on the front of a magazine,
Mm-hmm.
and that comes back later. But apparently, that midwife was put there on purpose.
Planted.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it was in the magazine that he had in his office. It showed her on there.
Which I don't
so-
understand. Why is he so mad that it's missing?
And was he, or was it just his
This is a nurse.
assistant?
It's
Like,
the
he
nurse.
blames it on the assistant, but was it really him? We don't really know. Like,
I was thinking about that. I thought maybe that it was one copy of a magazine that he had specially made, so it wasn't like a real magazine
yeah.
that
I
he
never
had
even thought of that.
made
yeah.
for any women in his office that were having doubts, so they would go to the midwife.
Yeah, that's smart. I didn't think of that.
That makes sense.
And that's why he wanted it back.
Uh-huh.
Just a guess.
So Grace, you think, was definitely in on it then, the midwife?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And that was the other thing I wasn't sure about, was Lucy hallucinating the whole time she
I was
in
wondering
Grace's
too,
office?
or were they just trying to make her go crazy? Like, were they doing that on purpose?
Maybe.
Grace urges them to a hospital after strong bleeding, but Adrian brings her to Hindle. Lucy talks to Grace, but realizes she imagined her different than she is.
Right. So, like, did she have her whole apartment, like,
Was she in on it?
redecorated and she was wearing different stuff, or did she just imagine?
That's
Yeah.
what I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
if Lucy hallucinated how her office was and how she was, or if they actually changed that all out to make her feel crazy.
Yeah.
Guess we'll never know.
Because, I mean, it makes
Doesn't
sense
say.
that they would want to make her seem crazy, because then it, like, invalidates everything she would have to say about
Yeah.
the
Right,
whole
she
thing.
starts
Like,
doubting
because
herself.
nobody would, like, believe her when she'd be like, oh, like, I chose to have the girl and they made me have the boys, and it's really Dr. Hindle's kids. Like, people will be like, okay, sure.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
because you're crazy.
'Cause you're
But
nuts.
and even that friend in the mommy group, like, I did not like
in
her
on
one
it,
bit.
yeah.
But she was only in on it after
She gave her that file.
Corgan,
Corgan,
the friend. I think she was only in on it after her doctor told her they were going to have these major problems with her baby. And so she wanted to get in with Dr. Hindle. So I feel like she only turned after the fact. I don't think she was planted like in the mommy group before. Although it could have been because Adrian's the one who brought up the mommy group
Right,
and was like, you
exactly.
should join a mommy group.
Yeah, so we really don't know then how long Corgan was involved in that. And
Right.
like, but as soon as she showed her those papers that he found in the safe, like, I mean that she found in the safe,
She claimed she was going to take it to a lawyer. Her
to
husband.
her husband,
husband.
yeah.
The thing that made me think that maybe she turned kind of in the middle was because the first time they were out to lunch, she was talking about these problems she had with her
Yeah,
baby.
she asked her how long it took her to get into the doctor.
Right, and then the second time they went out to lunch, just the two of them, she said, "Oh, we got a second opinion, and everything's going to be fine."
Yeah, okay. Maybe
So that's
that
what
was
made
when
me
she
think.
went.
Okay, she went to the husband, and he got her in with Dr. Hindle, and then she said she would do whatever, including turning the file back over to Adrian or whatever.
Yeah, that could be. That makes sense.
At some point, Lucy figures out that Corgan's in on it because she calls her by her real
Full
name.
name.
Right, yeah, the baby shower when she's giving her gift. And she's like, how did you
And
know that's my
finds
name?
medication from Dr. Hindle.
Yeah.
She goes to the bathroom, and there's a prescription in her cabinet that has Dr. Hindle's name on it. So she knows she got in with Dr. Hindle somehow.
So, Adrian and Dr. Hindle are supposed to be making a practice together when this is over, which he did not tell her.
No, she didn't know anything
That's
about it.
why I think he knew.
He knew that they weren't his babies?
I wonder if he knew from the beginning or not, though, because I just still think it's weird that you did that.
I
in
feel
the
like Hindle
office,
told him, this
like-
is what I do. Here's an idea. If you want to try it, we'll get you a baby. Won't be yours, but we'll get you one. And he's like, all right, that's fine. I don't give a shit. Can I jerk off in your closet? And that's how it happened.
You think Adrian couldn't have babies?
Oh,
Maybe.
I didn't think about that. Maybe he was
That
the
could
one
be.
that... The reason they
There
couldn't
was
get
an
pregnant.
issue.
Yeah.
Mhm. Cool. We solved the problem. We did it.
Yeah, also in the beginning when she was talking about not being able to get pregnant, she's like, as a woman, that's the one thing I'm supposed to be able to do, and I can't do that. Like, yeah, that's your whole purpose
That made me puke.
as a woman.
A
Like,
little
you're
bit.
just supposed to get pregnant.
Little
Like,
throw up.
right?
Not my thing. And that kind of, like, at the beginning there, and I was like, no, Alana!
Right,
You know
yeah,
what
that
I
is
mean?
so, like, against everything Alana would really think,
Right,
you know?
exactly. And I was like, oh, why are you making a movie like this? Why are you saying these things?
I told
But I think
her,
it was to
like,
make a point. I think it was to make a point that, like, you know, as a woman, like, not everybody is
That's
always taking you
not-
seriously, and, like, the doctors, like, they think they know better than you do, and all the men, I mean, not that all men are like that, but I mean, yeah, it's showing some stuff there.
Well, it's true. I mean, most gynecologists are men. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Why is
and even
that?
all the other women in it were very anti-feminist, you know? Other than her.
Okay, I told her on the way over that when they're discussing, we tried to have a baby for 2 years, I was like, why?
Wait. Shouldn't have babies anyway.
Yes, I was gonna say, like, this just confirms my decision to never have children.
That's what I wrote.
She has dreams about Hindle and her husband getting it
Oh,
on.
yeah! Thumbs up!
Yep.
That was good.
It's right after that that she.
Oh, yeah.
It's right after that that she finds the folder in the safe
Okay.
and takes it. So we're past that now.
We already talked about it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're almost at the point where they go to have the baby. I think.
We didn't really explain the folder, though. We didn't say what's in there.
What is in there?
All right.
I mean, it has pictures of her going to Grace,
Mm-hmm.
for one thing, and it says that she's crazy, basically, in there.
Enrolled in some kind of study that she never signed up for.
She's like, what is this study I'm in?
Does it ever address that?
I mean, just when she's talking to her friend, and she gives her the paper.
But what is the study?
I'm guessing maybe Hindle had to. It was something with him and his sperm. It's always about the guy and the sperm, isn't it? Isn't it? It just
Something
comes
about
down
her.
to the sperm. It's always about the sperm.
Yeah.
I mean, did it have to do with her mentally having issues?
That's why I drink so much Mountain Dew. I'm trying to kill it off. It's not working.
I mean, I guess maybe making a case for down the road when she says, you know, I was supposed to have one baby instead of two, and yada yada.
Right, then it gives them proof. I mean, not proof, but like
Yeah.
fake proof showing that she was crazy, so that never really happened.
Right.
It just
That could
totally
be part of-
invalidates whatever she would be saying.
Could be part of that.
I bet
I
that
don't
is what
know. I
it is.
feel so off.
Do
in
you
this
not
one.
remember?
It's been longer since he watched it. Since
Yeah.
we both
I guess.
watched
We watched
it.
it
As I said, you guys are gonna run this one because I
Okay.
don't remember.
What happened next?
Does she has the baby. She has two of them. She gets pissed off and she goes to confront Hindle. She has the first one and she's like, cool. And then the second one is coming and she's like,
But then
what?
the
I mean,
midwife
and
is
she finds out it's a
surprised.
boy. And
Right.
Yeah, the
And
midwife
then
is like,
yeah.
what? You
Yeah,
know what I
and
mean?
she's like, oh, and you're crowning again?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then she's bleeding and...
And you know what really pissed me off? Okay, so this is just kind of occurring to me. Basically, everything that she was wanting, thinking, whatever, regarding the pregnancy of the child, all of that stuff, she was getting pushback from everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
At that point, if I'm a woman, I just leave everyone behind and go somewhere away
I mean,
from
like,
everyone.
her husband pretended that he was going to be like, okay, let's have the girls.
But not at first. At first, he's like, well, I don't know. I'd be like,
Right.
fuck off.
It wasn't
Fuck
until
off.
after he talked to Dr. Hindle again that he said, okay, let's have the girl.
Yeah, because Dr. Hindle was probably like, well, we'll
We'll
just
just
let her
have
have
the
the
boys
boys
anyway.
and we'll make her think she's going to have a
When
girl.
she has
Yeah.
that hallucination dream thing, which is really just her not being high enough to be asleep, she hears him say, we'll give her the happy ending that she really wants, or the fairy tale ending she really wants. But insinuating that they're gonna give her two babies. So
Interesting. So Adrian at no point was like, wow, she's going to be really mad.
he thought he was gonna just slip on
Yeah,
by.
she'll deal with it. She'll get over it.
That pisses me off.
Oh,
At the
yeah.
end when he's all confused, I'm like, what the fuck are you confused
Yeah, what do you
about?
think's going to happen when you do this? Like,
Also, I remember whenever she was saying she was going to go to the midwife, I said, when I was pregnant, if I would have said I want to go to a different doctor, like, my husband would have been like, oh, okay.
Whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have no, like,
But he was, like, friends with Dr. Hindle.
I don't know. He needs to go, though.
And plus, I mean, I'm sure he had already started the whole process of becoming, like, into his
Practice.
practice and everything, so...
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think there's kind of a play on women's intuition here.
definitely.
Yeah. Try.
I don't know.
What?
I
You're
don't-
reading the thing.
Oh, all right. Well, this is where she decides to go into the clinic and finds her placenta and fetus, and it's in a bag on the desk. Like,
Yeah, like why
We'll
was it
get
there
to it
anyway?
later.
Like,
That's
just leave
weird.
it on the desk.
I mean, she goes to confront Dr. Hindle,
Mm.
right?
And like an evil scientist from James Bond, he's like, "Let me reveal to you all of my plans."
right. Smart.
And he's like, I'm a Superman. And now they mentioned that the babies had blue eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And then they really closed in on his blue eyes. And that's when I was like, you motherfucker.
Also, though, don't most babies have blue eyes and then they change later?
It could be. That's just, I think they did that on purpose.
Right, yeah.
So you were like, oh, asshole.
Right.
Then he just says it straight out. He's like, see that cabinet over there? I've been jerking off for like 10 years. Exact quote from
Did
the
you
movie.
notice? Did you notice when she? First of all, following is one of the best scenes I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
She kicks him in the balls. He takes it. Oh my god.
tries
He's
to get her
gonna
with
inject
the-
her
yeah.
with that stuff,
Right.
and that's why
She
she
kicks him in the balls. I can't remember what happens next. The nurse comes. Oh, she ties him onto the examining table, feet in the stirrups and everything. Did you see that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
The nurse comes in. She Lucy tries to
Puts
choke
it down
her
her
with
throat.
the sonogram wand.
And then she just pulls it out. She's like, yeah, I made it so I don't have a gag reflex. You
Right.
know?
Then they start fighting. The mirror. That's what happened after. That's before the nurse came in. That is one of the best shots ever. Do you remember that?
Mm-mm.
Do you
When she
remember
looks in the mirror and she's like all bloody. And
No, she grabs the mirror.
Oh, okay.
And she had already punched him or kicked him in the balls. She grabs the mirror and goes to hit him with it, and you see a close up of
Right,
his
yeah.
face going to like meet the mirror, and his face is all like
Yeah.
distorted and whatnot. That was really good.
Cool.
Then she
And then
gets,
she injects the receptionist, right? With
Right.
the stuff that he was gonna
right,
her.
and then she gets up on the examining table and just starts wailing away on him. It's great, like a fairy
Yes.
tale.
And then she goes.
She
into,
destroys
like,
all of the
Oh,
semen.
she
too.
knocks the
Cabinet over.
refrigerator thing over.
Oh yeah, with all his
With all his
sperm.
jizz. And then, did you see on the floor there was like a big puddle of like white?
I feel so bad
You
for
know,
the janitor.
and I've heard that kind of thing has happened in life where like doctors have done that kind of thing where they will inject their sperm into
I do
people.
remember cases.
I mean,
of
probably
that.
not at that level, not that many, but
I do
it's
remember,
happened.
I remember like court cases or trials about that kind of thing, and there was.
How does
I'm
these?
trying to think of
How does this? How? Well, okay. Why are the only people interested in being gynecologists men, and why are the only people helping women get pregnant ones who will inject their? Someone in this room.
We don't know who.
We don't know who, but he's named after a character in this movie. They may have hit the stop button, so we're gonna probably whiz through the end of this because we already did it once.
Punches them over and over.
Yep. And then
This
what's
is
she
amazing.
say on her way out of the building?
You're gonna want to find yourself a new
Oh,
doctor.
yes.
Best line ever.
That was great.
It was really good.
Makes her way down the street, gets home, and tosses her babies out the window, but they fly into space.
What?
Because she didn't
But
really do it.
it wasn't real.
Yeah.
So then she picks them up from their crib and
Mm.
gives each one to her husband and says,
The fuck
"Leave,
out.
get out of
Mhm.
here."
And let me see if I can do it again. What am I supposed to do?
Go raise the babies.
Yeah, have fun.
Yeah, the ones that you wanted.
And then a plastic fetus nurses on her boob. I'm gonna see her in the movie.
Hold on.
She puts this dead baby up to her nipple,
Mm-hmm.
and she believes that it's feeding on her, even though it's not.
Right.
Because she's lost her mind. At
She
this
completely
point.
lost her mind. Yeah.
And then I said some joke about pro-life. I don't remember what it was. Something about, they're going to show that video and be like, see what 2-week-old fetuses can do?
Yes, that's right. Okay.
Do we cover it all?
I feel like there's more. She didn't actually drop the babies out the window.
No.
Right.
That's her letting go.
Letting go of the babies.
Yeah, I know we
out the
missed
window.
some here. Re-recording, but oh well.
And by the way,
We'll figure it out.
there's
right?
2 other movies that I watched. One of them was not a horror movie.
What?
This woman comes home and finds her husband pissed off with 2 kids. They get into a fight. He picks up the kids, walks over to the window, and is holding them out the window. And I'm like, what is this? What is this movie? Oh my God, no! And he drops them. And I'm like,
The kid.
no! The whole movie was nothing like that at all. And I'm like, the rest of the movie, I just sat there like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Do you still advocate for baby killing on or child killing on her?
Not when it's realistic. Oh, okay.
What was the third
But that
movie?
was just kind of her letting go
Mhm.
of these.
The third movie was some zombie movie. I don't know.
They killed kids.
There's a Nazi zombie movie where they toss a baby into the air and shoot it, and it's like playing some polka music.
Jesus Christ.
Dead Snow. High recommend. 9 out of 10, I believe I gave that
Oh
one.
my God.
Anyway,
Oh.
Em, go over your score again. What
Oh
was
my
it?
God, that took like 10 minutes on its own.
Just,
Alright. I gave it a 5.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Okay. I don't want to go through my whole list.
you don't have to. No. Just,
We promised this was better the first time.
Okay, you thought the visual effects were like really good, right?
no,
was
nobody
kinda like,
thought there were any visual effects.
There weren't really
Yeah.
very
I
many.
thought you said that The Office was amazing and the
He said that, yeah.
You can't trust me.
okay. Sound and music, good. Character development.
Yeah, we went on for that. For like,
What did we say? Like the first time you ever really find anything out about Lucy is when she goes to the
she's flat and trapped in kind of a.
very subdued.
Mhm.
Okay, I gave it a 5. I gave it a
Okay.
5. I gave it a 5 and I stand behind it.
If we do it again for a third time,
Maybe I'll
you think
change
you'll
it.
change it?
You know, The Office was okay, but for such a big doctor like he was supposed to be, you would think it would have been a little fancier. You know what I mean? Because he
There
was
was-
supposed to be like this huge doctor.
There
that-
was a very minimal look to almost everything in the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
The doctor's office, their house, he had a whole room for one exercise bike.
Right.
Fucker owned a Peloton.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Was it a Peloton?
Mm-hmm. That figures. Anyway, I believe I also gave it a 5. Something about, I don't remember, Pierce Brosnan getting a blowjob or something. I can't remember.
Right, you like that part.
No.
Which was only imagination.
I don't. Yeah. I don't remember any of the music, but it was 2 weeks ago. So
I liked the music.
Yeah.
It was good.
you like the music. I thought that it was a character growth movie where she was accepting of her role at the beginning, then realized that she didn't need to have a role, and got out of it by the end. But it took a traumatic experience for her to get there.
It wasn't really a role even. It was what all the men around her were telling her she was.
Yeah,
But
she
they're
was very
telling
submissive
her that
throughout
it's
most
her
of it, and
role.
then-
It's not actually her role.
I know.
They're telling her it is.
Yeah.
And she got out of it by literally kicking a guy in the balls and throwing babies out the window.
Nice.
Okay.
Send a Saturday.
I mean, I liked how she finally had enough, and she wasn't gonna just be submissive any longer.
I liked it. I see her going on to live a long life with no children.
Right.
Yeah.
I doubt she'll be wanting to have any kids after that. And I gave it the 5.5 because, I mean, I felt it was an enjoyable movie. It was very intriguing through the first half. I thought it was very, like, trying to figure out what's going on, but then the conclusion was a little disappointing, but I love to see, like, her revenge after she found out everything, so...
That made the climax, what did I say? That made the climax not as disappointing.
Right,
Getting to
I
see
totally
him beat
agree.
up after all that shit.
Yes.
And just her like go crazy. you know.
Which
Yeah. And I mean, still some of it didn't make total sense throughout,
No.
but you know, I liked it though. It was an enjoyable movie.
okie doke. I gotta wrap this up before we lose it again.
Oh, right.
All right. If you want to get a hold of us, facebook.com/horrorcasting. We are on Twitter @horrorcastings, which I forgot last time. Oh, darn. Oh, man.
You need a list.
Yeah, that's why you gotta have this
not gonna
list.
do it.
I'll fucking
We
do
can
it.
even make it for you.
I will fucking do it so that I don't have to sit here and listen to you stutter over all of the different platforms that you can find podcasts on for 10 minutes.
Interrupted? Excuse me?
We're on Spotify and YouTube and Apple Podcasts.
Thank you.
iHeartRadio.
Yeah, all that stuff. And then horrorcastings@gmail.com if you want to write us an email. You won't. But if you want to, you
You
could.
never know.
You can leave a comment on the YouTube channel and tell us what movie you want us to watch and be real vague about it. So
J567
4-1
43.
is 4-1.
Oh, I just realized in the first one we forgot your Thrill Me.
No, we got it. We
We
said
did
it.
that in Benny Loves You, but I don't know, did
Oh,
we
we didn't
also?
even end this, I don't think, last
No.
time.
Oh, that's right.
I went, oh no!
Which we missed my good impression of Benny Loves You.
I think you should do that for Throw Me.
Okay, so this
Alright.
is for the previous one, but can I still even remember how to do that? Okay. Benny loves you!
Good. I like it.
Is that how it ends? We're
I
gonna
don't
flip-flop them?
No, I'm sorry.
was the other
Can
one?
we just redo this? Edit it out, okay?
Sure!
Yeah.
Hey, can you do us a favor?
You know, that chocolate's starting to kick in.
I know.
Oh,
Me
man.
too.
So I'm gonna redo this, okay?
Okay.
Thrill me!
Perfect.